Hi everyone, I'm Matthew, and I'm from Adelaide in Australia. I'm the 2015 International Scenario Writing Champion. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it to the International Finals, but I'll be presenting a reading of my scenario today. It's a scenario writing entry under the topic Social Isolation, and it's titled The Lonely God. Exhilaration floods every corner of my consciousness as I defy the collective warnings of millennia of evolution. The wind streams across my face as unseen forces pull my body across the brilliant open skies. Fear envelops my entire thought process, but I disguise primitive warnings, as physical threat means nothing to a being like myself. I cruise toward the earthly ground, placing my feet upon a beautiful world which I am never to truly visit again. This scene, as any other of my life, is not real, the passive dream of an idle computer. The visual flaws which portray its artificiality are natural to me, just as the subtle ringing of a living man's ears. This computer-rendered landscape is my domain, and I am its master. I live as in a lucid dream, bending my surroundings to my will with the power of cognition. Such a virtual paradise is the consolation of a transcensus. The quantum computing boom of the 2060s led to an enormous increase in demand for rare earth elements for use in delicate quantum circuitry and superconductors. The world had come a long way since the Russian Federal Space Agency successfully landed the first manned crew on Ceres in 2039. Now, the rapid advances in propulsion, manufacturing and navigation software meant that mining such bodies was a true possibility. There was but one limitation: the weight of humans, their precious oxygen, food and water, and the fuel to lift them, rose the cost of such missions to prohibitive levels. The alternative, artificial intelligence, excelled at specialised tasks, but lacked the heuristic ability to manage an entire craft on such a complex journey. I am an invention, born of such necessity. Using the very same quantum computers that demanded these trips, a pioneering Australasian team of neurologists, engineers and computer scientists laid the groundwork for the first transensei. In mapping and simulating node graphs of neurons, whole minds could be transferred to quantum computers, fulfilling the last requirement of commercial endeavours in space. A human mind suspended in software without the baggage of life support systems. Our minds fully integrated with the technology we managed, and our boredom placated with incredible simulations during downtime. We were the final piece of the astro-industrial puzzle. The sensory richness of my virtual dream disappears in a flash, and I find myself returned to the command of the probing vessel. The sights, smells and sounds of paradise give way to the dull reality of my true purpose. My field of vision is not occupied by a full, vivid image of beautiful landscapes, but the monotonous feed of a low-resolution, radiation-shielded camera. With my other senses pragmatically deprived, it is akin to viewing the world through a pinhole, a limited teaser of an outside world I can never experience. This is the curse of the transcensus. Despite commonly being regarded as mere tools, we are psychologically identical to our human counterparts, no different to a true man locked in a dead, metallic coffin. My enclosing software injects data into my simulated sensors, allowing me to monitor the craft's systems for signs of trouble. The radiation spectrometer feeds its readings to my simulated aural nerves, filling what I still imagine to be my ears with the beautifully reproduced symphony of the universe. As the deep, homogeneous hum of the Earth's radio signature harmonises with the occasional high-pitched gamma burst, I scrutinise the wealth of data on the probe's state. The velocity shift is insignificant by orders of magnitude, the thorium reactor is stable, and all systems are intact. Everything appears to be in order, and so resumes the boring monotony as I drift amongst the empty void. After an indeterminate length of time, the emptiness is pierced by a message. I am unusually overjoyed by this rare luxury of human contact. In my world of steel, silicon and software, this is something I covet. Control to Unit 53. Navigation have advised to begin deceleration. Maintain course, but reduce to 900 metres per second. Thank you, Adam. The usage of my actual name staggers me somewhat, for I have fallen into the trap of thinking of myself as an inhuman entity. Just as soon as the message begins, it ends. The greatest extent of social contact for a transcensus fades away. Out in the uncaring void, there is no discussion, no backchatter. Whilst the pioneers of, say, Apollo 11 had joked, laughed and connected with their mission controllers and each other, such interactions are all but impossible this far from home. Whilst their messages saw delays of 1.4 seconds at worst, no worse than a poor telephone line, I am cursed by the looming shadow of relativity. No heartwarming greeting, witty retort, or idle conversation may be immediately returned. For these ride upon electromagnetic waves, forever confined to the speed of light. It takes 16 minutes for a message to bridge the vast chasm between Earth and myself, and a further 16 for my response to return, if it does at all. The enormous power requirements to transmit such distance, dissipation of signal, and interference from cosmic radiation coalesce to minimise any chance of reliable contact with home. This unavoidable latency, alongside unreliability of signal, establishes the parameters of my existence, for it precludes remote control of the mission. But it also spells my doom, as communication becomes limited to the purely pragmatic. There is no back and forth discussion, no social dynamism. Regardless of my limited interactions with the rest of society, I am truly alone. I chose this life, ignorant of the immense pain that social isolation could bring. When I was of flesh, my crippling motor neurone disability had begun to infringe upon my life further than I believed possible. I was isolated, as I am now, restricted in communication, an intact mind locked inside a box, nigh on impenetrable by any information. Though I had previously been capable of my intellectual work in engineering, as my condition worsened, the world closed to me. My choice of this life was understandable then, when I was presented with a way out. I could escape my deteriorating body, dodge my nearing death, and continue to contribute to science and mankind. I would not just have restored sensory function, but fly through the skies of beautiful simulated worlds with superhuman ability. I would provide resources for the hungry earth, whilst bending the shores of paradise to my own will. Alone. Regardless of my consolation of virtual godhood, or the quantum-entangled particles that carry my thoughts, I am psychologically human. A perfect reproduction of a human mind by nature, I still feel the sting of loneliness. Silicon does not preclude human limitations, an oversight that condemns me to this existence. Having stabilised the craft's trajectory, I slip towards the relief of simulated paradise. The radioactive hum of the cosmic background fades, and the camera's grainy output gives way to a white expanse. I float in a realm devoid of anything and capable of everything, feeling the warm comfort of occupying a human body once more. I outstretch my arms, painting a majestic alien sky above me as I plant my feet upon the soft sands. I run, climb and fly through my newly established world, appreciating the joy of movement denied to me in that previous life, the fantasy of escapism dissolving my concerns. This is my momentary release, and I enjoy it. Alone. Try as I might, no experience can sublimate the emptiness of isolation. This escapist world of mine is amazing, though I would gladly surrender it for a return to society. But would society accept me? I am an immortal mind, locked in an infernal machine. I cannot feel the warmth of human touch. I would be an outsider, ever confined to this impenetrable box. Sand, water and sky evaporate to non-existence as I ponder my disconnection. My thoughts wander, and I find my daydreams reflected in my surroundings, my emotions more creatively powerful than conscious thought. I walk the carpeted footpaths of the hall, basking in the noise and activity. Suits and dresses interweave as laughter, music and chatter enlighten the hall with their uplifting radiance. The faces are nondescript, the people no more than props in the graphical play of a computer, but I find solace in their presence. For a moment, the emotional pains fade, and I imagine my surrounds to be real. For as long as the illusion persists, I'm happy. It was shortly after my uploading, a medical miracle in its own right, that one of the doctors taught me how to dream. It was a simple matter of release, akin to allowing oneself to fall. I dreamt of what I thought I wanted: stars and skies and fantastic worlds. Today, I dream of people. When will others dream with me?